So we share a lot in common, and he's doing a lot in making sure that we get the kind of skills and knowledge in our kids to move to the level that we want them to be. And that again is also what the office of the women rep and also the senator said this morning. So we share a lot in common. But then for all this to work, we must all work together. So the office of our leaders, or the offices of our leaders, our parents, our teachers, and our kids must all come together so that we build the kind of path that we want to have, because this is going to determine the level we are going to be as a community today and tomorrow. Now, for the people of education and skills, one of the most important area of focus is developing practical skills that our kids can use to build their careers today and in the future, and also to prepare them for the jobs of tomorrow. Now, Kenya has started this curricula, which we think, as the international community, that it is what Kenya needs to start developing or building up youth that are able to create innovations that can lead to the creation of enterprises and jobs for the youth. Now, Kenya is in a diplomatic and debate role on whether the country is ready or not. But given that the world has moved from the third industrial revolution to the fourth industrial revolution, it is important that our students and pupils, both in primary schools and high schools, are trained or given the right skills so that they can compete with their peers in the world. So I would say that as a government, as a community of teachers, as a community of parents, and as a community of international organizations, it is important to appreciate the role of this CBE, because that is what is going to take Kenya to the next level in terms of industrial development and also sustainable development. Otherwise, the country is going to be left too much behind by other countries that are so much advanced and who have been using the CBT curricula for the last several years. So we must fight, we must stand up and ensure that we go for this curricula so that we can build our young people to prepare themselves for the opportunities and the jobs of tomorrow. Now,
CBC is something that was rolled out in a hurry without proper consultation with all the stakeholders. But more importantly, any policy that government is rolling out must get the validation of Parliament, so that Parliament, as representatives of the people, can give it legal validity. I've said this before and I'm going to repeat. Policy will never replace legislation, and policy must follow legislation and policy must follow the law. And the Constitution demands that we must have public participation. I am glad that Professor Magoha has finally agreed to have a stakeholders forum where everybody is on board to discuss the rollout of CBC. Irrespective of the merit of the program, there is no reason why the teachers who are stakeholders of this republic should be forced to undertake training, should be trained quickly, and worse still, if they raise questions or oppose CBC, then they get arrested or interdicted. There is a case in Narok where 58 teachers were interdicted, Makueni 48. That is a problem for us because when you train 58 teachers or even 10 teachers, you can't just interdict them simply because they've asked questions. And therefore, the National Assembly Committee, together with Professor Magoha, must revisit this issue. And as the task force is dealing with this issue, they must go and discuss the implementation. We have no problem with rollout. 844 was rolled out in phases. And therefore, CBC, even if we must roll it out, it must be rolled out in such a way that the pupils know what is going to happen, the parents are prepared. But the stakeholders, called the teachers, must be given an opportunity to understand what they are going to teach our children now and in future. And where you're going to transition children in primary school to secondary, we want to know how you're going to do that, so that then all of us are then prepared. Thank you.
Shule ya upili Mumela